quick review of the scene of cycling visual effects. Which helps you to save some memory and yet be effective. Okay, I had some longer shots from my last work where I had to create some waving flags, and there were some problems with the cache, so I need to have a bigger cache files, and also by retiming, there were places where during the shot your cache just ends, and the geometry just freezes, which causes it to re-render it again. So I decided to create this kind of a cycling flag, which I can use anywhere, like without any problems. Let's see how we can do this type of cycling visual effects. So here I have the basic geometry, just grid, some remeshing, some texturing, and stick group, just to make our flag to stay in place while waving. Then applying our properties, and also our stick group pin to animation. Okay, then everything is basic. Only here I'm applying 2 wings to the flag. Okay, and then there is a cache. So here I have a cache, like, see, 240 frames. So that's the logics behind make this one, turn this one into cycling animation. So here we have our 240 frames. So what we do, we will cut it somewhere in the middle, our cache, and we will move. We're gonna move the second part to the beginning of timeline, and the first part to the end of our timeline. And also we need to have some overlapping frames, so we could just create a transition. In this case it's blend shape. Okay, so this is why I'm making it 240 frames, whereas 40 frames will be my transition. Okay, so here we have, here I have splitted my second part, like 101 and 240, which I want to move forward to the beginning of my timeline, and from 1 to 140. Okay, so it will play the first 140 frames and it stops. The second one, it's the first 100 frames, like 1 to 100. I want to play from 100 to 200. Okay, and since I'm starting the second one with 100, my 140 will be my overlapping time. Okay, so as you see, like, I'm starting with 100, and during this period I can create a blend shape. And this way I'm creating a nice loop. So then I will apply every time where I know that my cycle is like from 1 to 200, and I would like to play it the same. And here I'm just checking pre-cycle and post-cycle. This way I'm creating my cycle with no problem. Okay, so 200 frames, it's absolutely not a big problem in terms of memory and space, and as you see, plays nicely. So sometimes you probably need more frames. So here's the same technique but with 250. So I'm cutting into half. The second half, which is 200 to 250, I'm moving forward. 200 to 150, and the first part, which is 100 to 200, I'm moving it backwards, like play from 100 to 300. So my 50 frames will be my overlapping period. Okay, so again, like from 100. Okay, and the rest is the same. So maybe you'd like to tweak something, textures and so on, and then we would like to make some copies. So here I have the line. I copied a few lines, added some point colors, and then for loop for each point, where I'm copying each flag to each point. But here I have created a meta node, which has this looping iteration, which I'm using here by adding a spare input. Okay, I'm just dragging and dropping it here, and here I'm using a small expression to shift. So I'm using this detail and iteration of this for each iteration expression, and multiplying it by some value just to create this type of shift. Okay, and this way here I'm having random colors, so this way creating a nice variation of waving flags. If there is more geometry to copy, you might like to create a few, let's say 3 flags, and then without using the time shift, which is time shift with the in the cycling, in this in this looping mode, it's quite heavy if you have a lot of geometry. So that's why you would probably want to, for example, I would do like a time shift. So here I have my geometry, and I will create having this. So here I have 2. Okay, so as we see, we have shifted the time. So then I will create a switch. So we will use the original. This way we have three versions of like the original 1 and 2 time shifted copies. Then we can create, so here we have our for each point, let's say and we'll also create a meta, and let's copy. So we're copying our flags to each point. So this time we have copied only one flag. As you see, I would like to make a random selection. Okay, so what we do, we'll also drop here and spare, and our meta node just to make things shorter. And here we'll use detail expression. Detail -1, which is our spare input. Okay. Our attribute we call, and now I would like to, so we have like how many iterations? We have 21 iterations, and we have only 3 flags, so I would like to iterate only on those 3 flags, so we'll put modules by 3. Okay, we can also add a sort. And do a random operation. And this way we can also create some random values. So let's say I'll go a little bit higher. This. And as you see, this this operates much faster instead of this one. But both methods are valid. So if you have just a few copies, you may use this method. If you have a lot, I would probably go with this one. And if you would like to create to use like separate textures, there is lessons which I made in the past on how to create random textures by using attributes or by splitting the geometry with different textures. Okay, so well, as you see, this type of method may be useful in different type of cycling operations, whether you use fire, smoke, particles, and clothes, of course, different type of animation, which will save you a lot of time and memory as well. Well, hope you like the lesson. I hope it was useful. Thank you very much, and bye.